Hey everyone, my name is Brooke, and today I'm going to be leading a yoga flow for the low back, specifically trying to target the lumbar spine and just bring us some length in that area of our bodies. I kind of have you guys balancing on a wonky thing, so sorry if this is a little bit wobbly. But yeah, we're going to be having some fun flowing. This is definitely going to bring your heart rate up, bring a little bit of a sweat. I'm going to be practicing outside today, so I'm sorry if there's any background noises. So, yeah. All right, and also if you just want to feel free to grab yourself some water, I think that would be really great to help support you for your practice. Just going to really quickly. Sorry, guys. All right, so if you want to go ahead, we'll just begin today in a child's pose of your choice. So you can take this with your knees spread out wide, toes pointed, or your knees together. Honestly, whatever you're feeling today, I'm going to start out with my knees out wide and just go ahead and lower to the mat. And just finding a moment to just find your breath, taking a moment to find your breath. Just observing your inhales and your exhales. Maybe this new observance of your breath has caused it to shift a little bit. Maybe your inhales have become a little bit deeper and your exhales have come a little bit longer. And just notice, assigning no specific meaning to that, just noticing. It simply is just breath. Maybe you want to rub your third eye a little bit to stimulate it on the mat. I'm just rolling mine around. Just really coming inward. Just coming into yourself. And if thoughts are starting to race, or if what's coming next or what happened before this is starting to play out in your mind, just ask it to simply step aside. And for this next hour, all you have to do is breathe and notice and move when it feels good to move. I am simply your guide in this yoga class. You are your true teacher. This is your practice. So really, this is your time with yourself on the mat. And if anything that I cue or am guiding you through doesn't feel good, listen to your body and your own guidance. All right. Let's take an inhale and an exhale. Let's take another inhale and really breathe into the back body. Really feel that breath widening in your shoulders, your shoulder blades, your butt blades, your back body. And exhale. All right, now go ahead and take a look to the top of your mat and just bring your left and your right arm over to the left side of your mat. And you can bring your right hand over your left hand to get even more of a stretch in your right side body. And then just breathe into that stretch. All right, now walk over on your mat, walking over to the right of your mat, and just breathing into this left side body. And just really bringing an awareness to your breath. Consciously taking your inhales and consciously taking your exhales. All right, now we're going to come up to a tabletop position. And you want your knees under your hips and your wrists under your shoulders. And you really want to push out of the base of the pose. So everything that is connecting to the ground, your feet and your hands, you really want to push out. All right, and you can have your toes tucked or untucked, whatever you prefer. And we're gonna find some cat-cows. So inhale, draw your belly down, your gaze up. Exhale, start at the tailbone, round out the spine, and curl inwards. Inhale, lower your belly, stretch out the whole spine, broaden your chest, lower your shoulders from your ears, and exhale, curl the spine, curl the neck, find your stretch, find your cat pose. Inhale, find your cow, sorry. I have that 4 o'clock brain. And exhale to find your cat. Alrighty. So now take a little bit of free-form movement in your cat-cow, just doing whatever feels good. Maybe that's coming back to another child's pose. Maybe that's coming into an up dog. Just doing whatever feels good for your practice. Maybe that's drawing circles with your hips one direction. And then drawing circles with your hips in the other direction. Just remembering to come back to your breath. Alrighty, so now we're going to take our right foot back and just begin some rocks back and forth. And then we're gonna lift our right leg up, pushing out of the ground, connecting to our roots, to our center, to our core. That's keeping us here. Inhaling, and then we're going to extend out left arm and turn down your right toes so your hips are squared and neutral. You don't want your hips to be stacked like that. You want them to be squared. And then we're going to inhale deeply and exhale. Curl in your elbow to your knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl in, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl in, elbow into knee, and extend. You're going to lower your hand, your knee, and come back to child's pose for 1 breath cycle. Okay, going to come up to tabletop again, and this time we're going to extend our left leg out. Maybe give it a couple rocks if that feels good. All right, and then you're gonna raise it up. And on an inhale, extend your right leg out, almost as if you are about to shake somebody's hand. And make sure to turn your left toes down, almost even turning them to the right side of your room or where you are. All right, big inhale, everybody. Exhale, curl in, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl in, knee to elbow. And inhale, extend. Exhale, curl in, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower everything down. Great job, everybody. Alrighty, we're gonna take a tabletop position now. So you're gonna bring your chest down to the ground and sit back to your heels. Pushing out of the tops of your feet. You can bring your chin to the mat or your forehead to the mat, whatever is comfortable. Just noticing your breath. Okay, coming back up to tabletop, stacking your wrist under your knees. Go ahead and bring your toes to touch and widen your knees like we were doing earlier in that extended child's pose. Okay, so now we are going to, on an inhale, reach our right hand up. Exhale, thread the needle under your left arm. You can stretch your left arm over your head. You can bring it to your side, bending your elbow, or you can bring it behind you. Taking a bind and hooking it inside of your right thigh. And just breathe into this twist. Your head is laying down on your right ear and your cheek. You're resting on the right side of your head. All right, to come out, plant down on the left hand. Take an inhale and sweep that right arm up and lower it down on the exhale. Okay, other side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle under the right arm and take any of those variations that I just suggested before. Bending your elbow to your side, reaching your arm overhead, or hooking your arm and grasping your upper thigh, and breathe into this twist. Really breathing and stretching out those internal organs. Purifying the body, releasing stress, any anxiety. Just allow it to release. Okay, and to come out, plant the right palm. Inhale, sweep up the left arm, and then lower it down. All right, you guys. So now we're gonna bring our hands out a little bit longer on the mat, a little bit wider. We're gonna go ahead and come up into our first downward dog of the day. So I'm just walking that out. My calves are a little bit sore today. My hammies are kind of sore. And I'm really rooting down into my mat. So I'm rooting down onto everything that I'm touching. I'm just like really pushing down. This is such a grounding posture, downward dog, especially if all of us are sitting all day, sitting in our desks. Just really pushing into the mat and lengthening out the entire spine. Try and get your hips up, your shoulders, wrap them close to your upper ribs, trying to bring them away from your ears, and just push out of this pose. And just breathing and still walking it out if you need to. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and take a slow walk up to a forward fold at the top of our mat. Bend your knees really to get into this pose, rooting down through the feet, pushing out. Find your forward fold. Just let all of the tension release. Let the head go. Maybe nod it yes and then no, and just really bend the knees. There's no need to straighten the legs, especially because we're still warming up in the body. All right, on an inhale, we're gonna find halfway lift, whatever is comfortable for you, either hands on the ground, hands on the shins, or hands at the thighs. Today I'm gonna start with my hands on the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Finding extension in the spine. Your neck is an extension of your spine, so you don't want it to be drooping down. You want it to be nice and long, but also not crunched. All right, exhale, lower down, folded. Inhale, halfway lift, your choice of position, and exhale, fold. Alrighty, now we're gonna slowly roll up for our Tadasana. Head is the last thing to arrive. Just gonna raise that a little bit, facing you guys. Okay, so we're in our Tadasana. Really finding a rooting down through our feet. Our feet are the extension of everything. They're what is touching the earth. So rooting down through our feet and just really finding that length there in our Tadasana, rounding down. All right, reach up, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take that a couple more times. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Awesome job, everybody. Really bending into that forward fold. Now we're gonna plant down through our right hand. If you need a block, you can totally grab one, or you can put your hand rooted down through your fingertips too. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. So we're rooting down through our hand, and then we can bend, straighten into the right leg, bend into the left knee, and stretch out into a twist. Really breathing into that twist, broadening out through the shoulders, broadening out through the collarbones. Stacking the shoulders over one another. Gaze can be down or to the side. Okay, we're gonna lower that down. Now we're gonna root through our left hand, fingertips, hand to block, or planting the hand, and we're gonna reach up, bending through the left knee. Finding that breath, coming back to that breath. All right, and we're gonna plant down. All righty, now we're gonna step back into our first plank pose. Push out of the hands, push out of the feet. Bring the back of the body up into the chest and come back to your breath. Maybe rock a little bit, front to back, front to back. Coming back to that breath. Okay, on an exhale, lower the knees, and we're gonna go to first knees, then we're gonna lower chest, chin, come up to cobra or up dog. On an inhale, and exhale, back to downward dog. So that little sequence where we're going from plank pose to half of a push-up to cobra or up dog, that's gonna be our vinyasa. And I'm gonna start suggesting those throughout the rest of this practice. So feel free to do what feels good to you, keeping the knees lowered, maybe trying a variation that you feel most comfortable in your body with. All right, let's start moving. Okay, we're gonna raise the right leg on an inhale. And we're gonna step it through the feet, and we're gonna lower down on the back of the left knee. Just gonna adjust the camera really fast. Find your base, find your stance. The back toes can be tucked or they can be planted. Yogi's choice. Alrighty, pushing out. We don't want to hunch into this pose. We really want to broaden out through the chest, helping to create really nice length in this low back, this lumbar spine. Finding our breath, really pushing out of the earth. Broadening the chest, wrapping the shoulders down the upper back. We're gonna plant the left palm near the right foot, and on an inhale, we're gonna reach up through our right arm, pushing out through the earth. Looking up at the hand or looking to the side, whatever feels best for you. Breathing into the body. All right, we're gonna lower the hand and then we're gonna come into half splits. Pulling back the right foot, flexing the right foot to your face, the toes. You can bend the knee as much as you need. Coming through. Gonna push up to low lunge, step back to plank, vinyasa, yogi's choice. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Gonna take the same thing onto the left side of the body. Reach up on inhale on the left leg, step it up, lower the back knee. That's the right knee now. Tuck or press down on the top of the right foot and really reach out through the chest, broadening through the collarbone. Find your breath. Breathe here. In your low lunge. Remember, if your thoughts are coming back, just come back to the breath, come back to the practice, come back to your center and yourself. Plant down through the right palm. Reach up through the left. Twisting. Finding the length in the back, in the front body, and then exhaling into your twist. If the left knee has a tendency to reach out to the left side, bring it into the center line of your mat. And exhale, lowering that hand down. And then inhale, and then exhale to your half splits, bringing those toes flexed and closer to your face. And really pushing back into that stretch, bending the knee as much as you need to. Breathing and finding your breath. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, come back to high plank and take your vinyasa on your exhale. Inhale to your back bend of choice. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, walk, step, float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana. Okay, now we're gonna take a chair pose. So you can keep your feet hips distance apart, or you can bring your feet and your knees flush together with a little bit of space into the back of your toes. Okay, sink down for your chair pose. Sink the weight really into the heels. Broaden out through the chest. Sink deep and find your breath. If you're finding that your shoulders are coming crunching up to the ears, wrap them down the back body. Find broadening in the chest. And take a forward fold. Nice job, everybody. It's always good to get a little bit of a sweat. Sweat in. All right, halfway lift. And vinyasa. Jump or step back into your high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back to your down dog. All right, let's get moving. Let's start flowing, y'all. All right. Okay, we're gonna reach your right foot up. You can roll your ankle a couple of times, maybe bend, flex the knee back, stretch. Maybe stack the leg over the hips, reach back. And then we're gonna step up today into a high crescent lunge. All right, whenever you're ready, you found your bearing. You don't want your feet to be on a tightrope, you want them to be on two parallel lines, two train tracks. You can bring your hands to your heart if that feels more stable, or you can raise them up and breathe. Tuck. You can bend your knee if you're having a hard time getting your pelvis under your tailbone. Breathing into that front leg, this stretch. Finding your breath. Lower down the hands to the mat. You're going to step your back foot a little bit up, turned to face the left corner of the front of your mat, and you're going to find a pyramid pose. If you need blocks for this, please feel free to grab them. Strengthening out the back. On an inhale, halfway lift. And exhale. Get into your stretch. On an inhale, find your plank, your high plank. And exhale, vinyasa. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, back to your downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Find your circles. Stretch out through the leg. Stack the hips. And bring your leg up to find your crescent lunge. Rooting down through the feet, pressing up, finding your strength. Finding it, tucking the knee if you need to get your pelvis under that hip. Spiking the back toes up to face the ceiling. And find your breath. We're in these poses, and this is helping us to cleanse our minds, cleanse our bodies, cleanse our hearts, and cleanse our spirits. So we gotta remember to breathe. And find your hands to the ground. Step your foot up 3 feet-ish away from the front foot. And find your pyramid pose. Find a halfway lift. And exhale into your stretch. Step back to a low lunge. Step back to a high plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, we're going to float, jump, step up to the top of the mat and meet in a forward fold. We're gonna slowly roll up to the top, to mountain pose. And take a second to catch our breath. Sink down low, chair pose. Weight into the heels. Reach up through the arms. If you find that your shoulders are crunching too much into your back body, that's totally fine. Bring your hands to your heart and the thumbs to the sternum. Lift up your chest into your heart. Forward fold. Nicely done, guys. Exhale all the air out of you. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step, float back to your high plank pose and take your choice of vinyasa. Exhale, we will all meet in downward dog. I find downward dog is a great place to kind of like come back to center. It's definitely, you're putting in work in this posture, you know? It's just very grounding. If we think about how all four of our hands and our feet are really rooting down into the earth, and it's like we're literally a tree, and these are our roots. And I almost kind of like to imagine my arms and my legs as an extension of my body, extending far into the earth. And just like feeling that energy and those nutrients. Just purifying my body and allowing negative and toxic energy to release. Stretching back. All right, y'all, we're gonna raise the right foot up. This time we're gonna shake it up a little bit. We're gonna start and we're gonna bring the right knee to the nose, curling in, pushing out through the hands. Inhale, reach the leg up, and exhale, right knee to right elbow, push out through your hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, cross over in the body. Inhale, reach up, exhale, and we're going to find a warrior one. Take a moment to find your footing. Back knee is slightly internally rotated in, pointing to the top left corner of the mat. Right leg is in facing forward. Bring your hands to your heart or reach up. Find your breath. We're gonna spiral out into warrior two. Oh, there's a little ant on my yoga mat. Okay, I'll do that. Okay. If you're finding you don't have a lot of room in your pelvis for this pose, that's all right. Widen the legs, internally rotate the back foot a little bit. You don't have to have heel to arch alignment. Broadening out through the shoulders, reaching out and looking your gaze over your right hand. We're gonna reach back and we're gonna find revolved warrior, finding so much length in the right side of our body. And on exhale, we want to take this length and bring it over into our extended side angle. If you have a bind for extended side angle, you please feel free to take it. If you don't, and you want to bring your hand to the ground, you can do that, or you can follow my lead. I'm just resting the top of my right elbow on my right calf. Right knee is at a 90-degree angle. Right knee and leg. Reaching out to the top left arm, finding your breath. We're going to come back up into our revolved warrior. We're going to straighten out through both legs. We're going to find a triangle pose, Trikonasana. Extend your right and left arm out to your side. Push back the hips. Reach the right arm forward. Find your right hand on the outside of your right foot on the ground. If you need a block, please grab it. Do whatever you need for your body and really breathe into this posture. Reach out through the top raised hand. Find your gaze wherever you would like it, either to the ground, to the side, or looking up. Breathe into the pose. Alrighty, here we go. Let's do a little bit of balancing, yeah? We're gonna reach our right hand in front of us, bend into the right leg, and if you need a block here, you can go ahead and grab it. And then we're gonna launch off of the left back foot and stand in to our right leg, coming into half moon, finding the breath. Noticing the thoughts, no judgment. Whatever's coming up, it's okay. Right now, you're on your mat. You're in this moment where nothing else exists but you, your body, the earth, your mat, your breath. We're going to step back into Warrior 2 on an exhale. So do another round of breath. Inhale. And exhale, step back, Warrior 2. Bend in. And we're going to windmill our hands down to the mat, and we're going to find a low lunge. And we're going to plant the left hand near the right foot, and we're going to twist into a low lunge twist, breathing in to the body. All right, guys, on an exhale, we're gonna bring the right hand down, step back to a plank, and chaturanga. Alrighty, same little ditty on the other side. Inhale, reach up to the left foot. I'm just getting so many little creatures on me today because I'm practicing outside. Okay. And exhale, curl in, knee to nose, pushing out through the back body, curling in the front body. Exhale, push up. Inhale, left knee to left elbow, push up through the body. Exhale, reach up. Inhale. Left knee to right body, crossing over. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, step up to find your Warrior 1. This front-facing knee typically has a tendency to press inward. This can cause strain and torque our knee. We want to make sure we're pressing it outward to the left side of our body, planting down through our feet. Okay, so our energy of this pose, it's the base. It's coming from the base. The base is supporting everything. So we're rooting down through the feet, and that is what is allowing us to have strength for this pose. That strength I'm getting from my feet, that feedback is allowing me to deepen in to my bended leg, front leg. And then, of course, that prana, our life force energy, major. All right, spiral out into your warrior two. Looking over the front hand. Find your revolved warrior. And then find your extended side angle. Bending into that front knee. Have it be a 90-degree angle. And revolved. Sorry, we're going to go from extended side angle. Back up, extending through both legs. And now we're going to go into Trikonasana triangle. Reach both arms out to your sides. Bend into your hips. Reach out through the left hand. Bring it to the outside of the left foot. And we're going to come into Trikonasana. And now we're going to bend into the front knee and come into half moon. Really broadening out through our chest, pushing out through that back foot. And coming back, we're going to find our warrior two. Windmill the hands. Windmill the hands down. Come back to your high plank, chaturanga. Find your down dog. And float up to the top of the mat or step or walk. Take a halfway lift. Fold. Reach up. Tadasana, mountain pose. Find your breath. Take a moment to bring your hands to your heart. Find your center. And chair pose. All right, guys, bend into the heels. Here we go. If one of your knees has a tendency to reach forward, bring it back into alignment with the other knee. All right, I don't know if you saw this coming, but we're gonna do a prayer twist. We're gonna bring hands to heart, reach up through our chest, bring our thumbs to our sternum, and we're gonna take that length, take all of this work that we've been cultivating throughout the whole practice, and we're gonna bring it into our twist. So left elbow hooks around right knee. And use the feedback from your hands pressing together to push and deepen into your twist. Find your breath. You can look to your side or you can look up, whatever is feeling good for you. And come back to forward fold for a quick break. Halfway lift. Lower down, come into chair pose. Again, hands to heart. Bring the length with you over to the left side of your mat. Pushing out of your hands to create more length in the back body, and then breathe into that length that you're creating for yourself. All right, guys, lower the hands down, and we're going to come back into a high plank pose. Take a vinyasa. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, find your down dog. All right, guys, this is the last flow. We're gonna go a little bit faster through it to really just put everything that we have done together. All right, come back into your down dog. Find your breath, find your root, find your center. Reach up through the right leg. Look up, step up in between the hands, plant down the back foot, come up, warrior one. One breath cycle here, in and out. And now, turn the back toes so the heel is facing up like you're in a crescent lunge. And then start bouncing off of that back leg. And we're gonna go and launch up. I need to step back a little bit. We're gonna launch off into a warrior three. All right, on an inhale. And launch. Back toes can touch the mat. They can be lowered. You can be in that crescent lunge. Hands can be wherever. They can be at your sides. Toes are pointing down to the earth. Find your length in your spine. Find your drishti, a focal point to stare at. Remember what I was talking about earlier, at the root of the pose is in that standing leg. All right, guys, nice job. Come back, high crescent lunge, and coming down, taking a twist, left hand plants, right reaches up, and chaturanga to down dog. One more side. All right, guys. Left foot comes up. Inhale, exhale. Step through plant. Plant the back toes. Come up for a warrior one. One breath cycle in and out. Turn the back toes so that you're in a high crescent lunge. And we're gonna start to just play around with bouncing off of that back foot. And ready? We're gonna launch on an inhale. And then use that inhale, that prana, that life force to launch you forward. Stretching out through the back foot, pushing out the back heel, stretching out through the arms. Find your drishti, a focal point. You can bend into that supporting leg if it helps. Coming back on an exhale into your crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the right palm down. Inhale, the left hand up. Plant the left hand down, come to a high plank. And chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, take a child's pose. Whew, I don't know about you guys, but my heart is, it's up there. Let's check time. Okay. Okay, let's come back into a down dog on an inhale. And everybody raise your right foot up. Draw circles with your right knee. One way, then the other. Maybe stack your right knee over your left hip. Maybe flip your dog. If that feels good in your body today. Find your down dog again. Whenever you're ready, that flip dog felt really good. You can stay there. We're gonna meet in a pigeon. Bring your right knee to your right wrist. All right, find a proud pigeon, hands pushing up. Whenever you're ready, fold into that pigeon. Finding your stillness, calming down the breath. Notice what all that action, what all that work has brought you to now. Just noticing what the state of the mind is with no judgment. All right, whenever you're ready, press back up to proud pigeon. You can stay in this pose for as long as you want to. We're gonna meet back up in down dog. Okay, we're gonna take, again, big circles with the left knee. One way and then the other. Stacking the knee over the right hip, flipping over if we want to. And coming back, down dog. We're gonna find pigeon on the left side. Left knee to left ankle. Push out in a proud pigeon. And fold into that pigeon. Push up through the hands. And go ahead and bring your right leg over and find a seat on your mat. I'm gonna find a seated forward fold. So we're going to reach up, bend the knees as much as you need to. We're gonna hinge from our hips, really trying to keep the length in the spine. Rather than thinking about rounding, think about elongating the spine and length. So inhale and find all the length in the spine, and then fold over your legs from the hips. Trying to find that length as best as you can. Coming up, we're gonna find our backs and we're gonna roll into a little ball, curling in, countering that forward fold we just took, countering that stretch in the butt. All right, feel free to go ahead and rock up and down the length of your spine, making sure there's no bugs on the mat hanging out with me today. Making sure I'm not rocking over any bugs. Oh, this feels so good in my back. Okay. Come back, and we're just gonna find a little supine twist. Keeping our legs, our knees up and bent, and just rolling them over to one side of the mat. That feels good. Maybe moving your hips a little bit over as well. Keep taking your gaze to the left, over your left shoulder, up to the side, to the right, whatever feels good. Breathing into your twist. Coming out of your twist, taking it on the other side. Feel free to stay and retwist for as long as you like if that felt good. Just wanted to make sure you guys can see me all right. All right, roll the legs up and take any final postures that would feel good in your body before we take Shavasana. I'm gonna take Happy Baby because that feels like it would feel really good. In my legs and my hip flexors, I'm kind of pointing and flexing the toes. Feel free to extend one leg and then the other and just take your last final moments of conscious breathing in the last posture, whatever feels good in your body today. And whenever you're ready, we're going to meet in your final resting posture in your Shavasana. All right. Find that lying flat on your back. Taking a huge inhale in, and then just relaxing the weight of your body into the mat. Resting posture. Know that there's absolutely nothing for you to do here. This is your moment. Just find your peace, find your center, and come back. Restore. Let the nutrients of your practice, all the work that we just did, all the breath and the prana, the life force that we cultivated to settle. Just allowing your breath to ebb and flow naturally. Whenever you're ready, start to gently awaken the body again. Wiggling the toes and the fingers, maybe moving your jaw around. Moving the eyes, open and close. Hug one knee into the chest and the other, and roll onto a side that feels good. Find a fetal position. And slowly, whenever you're ready, coming to an easy seat at your mat, cross-legged. Try and keep your eyes closed these last few minutes of your practice. Find your hands at your heart. Thank you so much for practicing today with me. It was such an honor to move our bodies together in this way and to find a little bit of peace right now in the midst of the world and how much chaos is going on. From my heart to yours, namaste. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for that low back flow vinyasa class. I hope you enjoyed it. My name's Brooke, and I hope to see you next time for class. Namaste.